Good morning, class. Today we're going to do a reading from The Night Artist. But before we do that, let's go over the vocabulary words and make sure you understand what they mean. Perfectly means excellent, no problems. Beautiful, fantastic. Sketch, that means to draw. Night, that's evening. Quiet, shh. And deer is that animal, like a baby deer is a doe. A deer is what pulls Santa's sled during Christmas for the toys. So now let's start the story. As I point, if you printed your paper, you should be using your finger. If not, look on the link and follow along with me. The Night Artist. Macy tiptoed through the cabin as quiet as a mouse. Tip, 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 tip. She didn't want to wake up anyone. She silently got dressed, picked up her sketch pad, her paper pad, and slipped outside. It was cooler than she expected, and quieter, and darker. It was hard to even see the trees in front of the cabin, which just looked like shadows. Macy crept tipping-toe along the porch to the bench and sat down quietly. Everything seemed a bit spooky, and Macy felt a little nervous. She wasn't used to being outside at night, alone in the dark. Macy thought about going back inside, but she decided not to. Her dad had told her that many wild animals only come out at night, and she wanted to see them. She wanted to see the animals and sketch them. She wanted to see them and draw them. Macy waited in the quiet of the night. She could hear the wind softly rustling the leaves in the trees, and an owl hooted, hoo, hoo, in the distance. After a while, she could see better. Up in the sky, a full moon shone down at her, and she could see thousands of stars. The owl hooted again, hoo, hoo. Macy liked the owl's sound, and she started to relax more. She felt comfortable. She started to sketch, to draw the moon. After a little while, Macy heard the rustling in the bushes. She could feel the excitement rise in her, as well as a little fear. So she was excited and also afraid, hearing the noise. She reminded herself to be calm and not to run if it was a bear. It wasn't a bear. A beautiful doe stepped out of the shadows and into the light of the moon. The doe was only 20 feet away. Macy gasped. She has never been this close to a wild animal before. "You're so beautiful," she whispered. The deer's head spun and stared at Macy, turned around and looked at her. The deer stood perfectly still. Macy sat perfectly still. The deer stared at Macy. Macy stared at the deer. Finally, the deer decided that Macy wasn't dangerous and started to eat the grass. Macy very carefully and slowly picked up her pad, her paper, and started to sketch, started to draw the deer. She drew the deer's long neck and legs. She drew the spots on the doe's tan and white fur. She drew the deer's dark eyes and big ears. A couple of times the deer looked up at Macy. Each time, Macy stopped drawing and sat perfectly still. She didn't want to scare the deer away. After a few seconds, the deer always went back to eating grass. Just as Macy was finishing her sketch, her drawing, The doe silently slipped away into the bushes. Macy picked up her pad, her paper, and went back inside the cabin. Everyone else was still sleeping. Macy knew she should go to sleep, but she was too excited. She looked at her sketch, here's a sketch, her drawing, and she felt very special. She had truly connected with nature. Now, I'm going to read over the selections you have to do after this. 1. Vocabulary. To feel nervous is to feel, you would find that over here in the first page. A, very happy. B, really hungry. C, a little scared. A doe is, so what do you call this animal down here? What's the other name? A doe is a plant-eating dinosaur. B, an angry bear. C, a female deer. To sketch means, here's her sketch. A, to draw. B, to dig. C, to destroy, to damage, to get rid of, tear it up. Number 2, answer the questions. A, did the full moon help Macy draw? Stop right here and answer that question first. So it's either going to be a yes with a capital Y, period, or a no with a capital N, period. How? Now you have to support your answer. Tell me why you said yes with a new sentence, or no with a new sentence. Don't forget to begin with a capital, finger space between your words, and give me the correct punctuation mark at the end. B, why do you think the deer stared at Macy? This is an inference question. You're not going to find the answer in the story. From the story, you have to come up in your own mind, why did the deer stare at Macy? So think about why you think the animal did that. Begin with a capital, space between your words, punctuation mark at the end, telling me why you think the deer stared at Macy. 3, draw the doe and label her neck. So you would draw the neck and write the word neck, put a little arrow there. Legs, have the legs, write the word legs by it. Body, next to the body, write the word body. Spots, draw the spots, point with an arrow, write the word spots. Eyes, draw the eyes, write the word eyes. Ears, label ears. And tail, label tail. So you're going to draw the doe right in here and label its body parts. Okay. Enjoy doing your little worksheets, and until next time, happy reading.